When we see it, you see it, and that means breaking news here on CBS News 24/7. Let's talk to CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. You just spoke to the president about his plans to ease pain at the pump. We say that all the time. It does hurt, especially starting a new week. What's his plan?
Reed, I spoke to the president about the idea of a pause in the federal gas tax. The gas tax at the federal level is 18 cents a gallon, and I asked the president whether he was thinking about pursuing a pause to the gas tax. He said yes, he is, and he really seemed to warm up to the idea as we continued our conversation. He said, we're going to take off the gas tax for a period of time, and when gas goes down, we'll let it phase back in. But yes, we're going to be doing something on that. Now, pausing the federal gas tax would take an act of Congress. There are Democratic lawmakers who have introduced legislation to either pause or reduce the federal gas tax. It does come with repercussions because this is money that goes to fund highway repairs, highway construction, other transit projects. And so you're looking at a significant hit to the funding for those projects for as long as this gas tax were to be paused. But with gasoline now topping $4.50 a gallon, it does appear that there is growing recognition that something may need to be done to ease pain at the pump.
You cite Congress needing to get involved, and of course Congress has other big fish to fry as well this week. Do you have a sense of timing as to how long this could take if the American public is to feel that little bit of an ease at the pump?
Well, if you've got the President of the United States pushing Republicans to do it, and you have Democrats in the House and Senate who have already introduced legislation to do it, it is the kind of thing that theoretically could happen rather quickly. It just depends on whether lawmakers are willing to put it at the top of the agenda and whether the House and the Senate agree on whether they want to pause the gas tax entirely for a specific period of time, whether they simply want to reduce it, how long this would last before they phase it back in. That kind of thing would all have to be hammered out.
News that will be music to a lot of people who travel, especially going into the summer travel season. You know, last week we had the story of Spirit Airlines having to give up the ghost, as it were. They cited the impacts of the high jet fuel prices. What kind of an impact, if this goes into effect, could this have on the airline industry?
It wouldn't have any impact on the airline industry, though I did ask the president, Reed, whether he would also be open to a bailout or some kind of bridge loan for U.S. air carriers. As you point out, they've been hit incredibly hard by the fact that jet fuel prices have more than doubled since the war began. But at this point, President Trump doesn't appear to be as open to that. He said this idea, the idea of a bailout, hasn't really been presented yet, he said, and he argued that the airlines are not doing badly. So that's something that he doesn't appear to be concerned about right now. I did also ask him, Reed, about his claim over the weekend that the latest Iranian proposal that he received was totally unacceptable, in his words. I asked him, what was it about the proposal that was unacceptable? Did it have to do with concessions they either were or were not willing to make when it comes to their nuclear program? And here's what he said. He said it was just a bad proposal, a stupid proposal, actually, done by people that have no clue as to the danger they're in. A very stupid proposal, badly written, badly delivered. So a big change in tone from a president who said just 1 week ago that he thought that an agreement was very close at hand.
Well, and the president also has on his mind China and a very important meeting in the days ahead. How much will Iran figure into those talks with China?
Iran will definitely come up. China is Iran's biggest customer when it comes to oil. And so China has a big vested interest in this conflict coming to a close as quickly as possible. And President Trump had been hoping that he could come into this big summit with the president of China with a win, being able to say that he had locked up a deal with the Iranians. It now appears that that is unlikely to be the case. In fact, when I asked him about the deal, he said, yeah, they'll make a deal at some point. It's going to happen. but he didn't provide any sense of when. So yes, there will be discussions about that, but there will also be discussions about trade between the U.S. and China and a lot of brinksmanship that these two countries have been engaged in over the past year. There will also be conversations about AI, about Taiwan. There's a long list of things that need to be hashed out between these two leaders.
Fresh from a conversation with the President of the United States, Nancy Cordes, at the White House, starting us off strong for a new week. Thank you so much. Good to see you.